Welcome back, guys. I hope you're all doing well. As you can see, we've got some massive pirate vibes going on in this video. I've made a few little mistakes on my wild camping adventures before, like forgetting a piece of gear or wearing the wrong clothing, you know, all that typical stuff that I'm sure we've all been through before. But this, hands down, beats them all, and the worst part of it all is that it totally could have been avoided, at least the permanent part of the injury anyways. Now, don't get me confused, I only wear this eye patch at night, and you know what, it's really uncomfortable, so I'm just going to ditch it for the moment. Right, now let's get straight on with the story. What's the crack? What's going on? Why am I pretending to be a pirate for? This injury actually goes all the way back to before I even started my YouTube channel. Wednesday the 16th of June 2001 to be exact. So that's over a year ago now, and I only remember this because I've got some daft little picture that I took on the day. At the time I was out doing my wild camp, learning my trade, and it was actually this spot that I'm at now where the incident happened. I've came back here because I want to try and reenact the situation and give you guys a better understanding of what happened. So the whole camp was going absolutely spot on as far as I remember. I cooked up some food, just having a proper lazy day right next to this river. It was beautiful. But anyways, that was pretty short-lived because when it came to the morning and it was time to pack up, bear in mind I had work this day, so I was trying to be as efficient and get packed up and get on my way as quickly as possible. So I packed all my gear away, and the last thing I had to put away was my tarp. So yeah, I was rushing about trying to get everything packed up, and I went round to the corner of the tarp to pull out the first peg, and at the time I mustn't have been paying much attention, or I just wasn't aware of what was going on, but the tarp was actually holding back a branch. Now the best way to describe this is like a catapult. It was like locked in, just ready to fire. So when I pulled out this first peg, instantly in a split second it felt like whoosh, this branch came swinging across and cut my eye, and straight away before I knew it I was just on the deck. Now there wasn't any like blunt force or anything like that, it was just the initial shock, I suppose, of just having something cut my eye so quickly. It all happened within a split second. I guess it's just human nature or something like that. When you feel like an instant pain, you just drop to the ground. Anyways, so I'm sat here like a dafty on the floor holding my eye, and bear in mind this was a solo camp, so there was nobody else with me to help me out at this point in time, and I must have sat here for about 15 minutes just holding my eye. I was in that much pain, it was crazy. Like finally, after them 15 minutes or whatever, I built up the courage just to like open my eye. Literally all I could do was like a few blinks, it was that sore, but that was enough to know that I still had my eyesight. I could still see, even though it was really blurry, and tears were running down one side of my face. I must have looked like I was in a right state at this point in time. But yeah, I was relieved because even though, like I said, it was blurry, I could still see, I still had my vision, so that was definitely a good sign. And very coincidentally, this was actually the first camp that I'd brung out a little mirror. I had a friend telling me all about how valuable it is to carry a mirror with you in case you get any face injuries or any, I don't know, hard to see injuries. You've got a little mirror, so yeah, I had it with us, which was ideal at this point in time and needed to be put to use straight away. I was in discomfort and pain, but at the end of the day, at least I knew that I still had my vision and there wasn't a big stick or twig hanging out my eye. Eventually I managed to pull myself round, finish getting packed up, and made my way to the car park where I was getting picked up. Up until this point of the story, in hindsight, yes, it probably could have been avoided by pitching up in a bigger open space, but you kind of predict these things. Even if I was to do that, when you're in the woodland, like, an eye injury can happen at any point. With that being said, the next part of the story is where I really messed up and where the permanent part of the injury really could have been avoided. So I made my way to the car park, got picked up, got myself home, laid down straight on the bed. I was still in huge amount of pain, but I knew I had work in a few hours, so I was in ultimate recovery mode, trying to get it sorted out. I managed to put a couple of eye drops in, which we'll not go into that. It was a nightmare itself. I'm not used to putting stuff in my eye, so yeah, that was a bit dramatic. Oh, it's in my eye. But yeah, over the few hours, it did kind of feel like it was getting better. I managed to get myself sorted, get my work clothes on, go off to work. I was a couple hours into my shift and I must have been getting tired or something, I don't know, but I forgot about it. I rubbed my eye and boom, that instant pain from when it first started just came rushing back straight away. Again, this was another warning for me to be like, come on Dazzy, get yourself to the hospital. But I think I'm tougher than what I actually am, and I just stuck it out. I took an hour break, and that's where this first picture came from on my work break. So I took an hour break, it eased up a little bit again, and I just cracked on. So fast forward a month later, and slowly but surely, although I thought at the time it was seeming like it was getting better, I would occasionally wake up in the middle of the night with that sharp eye pain, with my eye watering, but apart from that, it had all but pretty much gone. So why am I talking about it today, and how is it permanent? So if we fast forward the story again all the way up until last week, and I'm still waking up in the mornings with that sharp eye pain. Now granted, not every morning, but for the last month or so it just seems to be on the decline, just getting worse and worse. It's more frequent. So last week I finally gave in and I called me GP to tell her about the situation, and she said that I needed to go straight down to the eye emergency department, which at the time I thought was a bit weird considering it was an injury that happened over a year ago. But I followed her instructions anyways. I went off down to the hospital, and it turns out, drum roll please, I have corneal erosion. I hope I'm saying that right. So instead of me butchering the medical side of things of what it is, I'm going to read to you the proper explanation of what corneal erosion actually is. Now there's some big words in here, so please bear with me. So corneal erosion is when a layer of cells on the surface of the cornea called epithelium loosens from the layer underneath. This is painful and makes your vision blurry or hazy. Corneal erosion pain may start suddenly, often when you first wake up in the morning. In my case, that explains an absolute ton. Your eyes get dry whilst you sleep, and your eyelid might stick to the cornea. If the epithelium is not firmly attached, opening your eyelids might peel the epithelium off. So there we go, that's what's been causing all this drama for the past year now. And in hindsight, the most frustrating part of all of this is when I went down to the emergency eye department, the doctor actually said if I had come there straight away, or at least within the first 3 weeks of this injury actually happening, then there would have been a good chance of them being able to treat the injury and potentially my eye making a full recovery. But like I said, we're over a year from this stage now, so I think it's safe to say that time frame has expired. Fortunately, I was told that it won't necessarily get any worse, it just won't get any better as well. The exact words from the doctor were most definitely will be like this forever. So yeah, it is what it is. I was given a repeat prescription of some eye ointment to put in on a night, but yeah, it looks like I'm on that for life now. So every night when I go to bed, I've got to put this in my eye, and it just lubricates my eye so I don't get that dryness or whatever it said in the description of it. But with this ointment, it's like I said, it's really thick stuff, and it just glazes over your eye, and it just completely, your vision's shot, like it just goes completely blurry where you can't see anything. So hence the eye patch from the beginning of the video. So I don't know how I feel about this, to be honest. Like I said, I've only been diagnosed, is that the word? I don't know. I've only found this out last week, so it's still all new to me. At the moment, I don't mind so much putting it in with this longer bedtime routine, but who knows, 1 year down the line, 5 years down the line, even 10 years down the line, when I'm still putting this eye ointment in my eye, I'll probably be fed up with it, or who knows, it might just become a way of life for us. I'm yet to find out if it's really going to affect me going out on camping trips in that. Obviously my hygiene is going to have to be upped even further. I don't think it was ever too bad when I was out camping, but it's gonna have to be even further. Maybe I'm gonna have to create a first aid kit. A lot of you probably already know I don't really carry much of one. I just carry a few plasters, a couple of wet wipes, but maybe I'll have to up that now. But yeah, nothing I can do about it now. It is what it is. So yeah, there we go. The moral of the story is, if you're out camping and you do get an injury, then maybe it is best to go down, see your GP, get it checked out by a professional, and you might be able to prevent a long-term injury like me, like what I did. Anyways, whilst we're on this topic, I thought it'd be a good opportunity to ask you guys, have you ever had any long-term injuries from all your camping trips or bushcraft trips or whatever they are? Please let me know in the comment section below. Maybe sharing these things could help prevent somebody else going down the same route and falling for the same mistakes. But alright, thank you for watching everyone, and take care. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.